Hi, I'm Ellen Riedel. I'm a staff attorney with Maryland Volunteer Lawyers Service, and I'm going to take a moment today to talk to you about student loans. A question that we get quite a lot from our clients is, can I file bankruptcy to discharge my student loans? The answer to that question is usually no. It's a really high standard to meet to try and discharge your loans in bankruptcy, so most people aren't able to do that. So I'm just going to give you some tips today on how to manage your student loans if that doesn't apply to you, if you aren't able to do that, or if it's not likely you'd be able to discharge them in bankruptcy. So the first step is really figuring out what kind of loans you have. Most people are going to have federal student loans and not private student loans. Usually you'll know that it's a private student loan because you'll be getting bills from Discover or Bank of America or something like that. But if you're not sure what type of federal loan that you have, you can log on to the National Student Loan Data System, and we can put a link to that in the comments. But you can log on to that, you can find out what student loans you have, the type, the balance, and the status of all of the loans. So that'll give you a really good start on figuring out what you can do with your loans. From there, you can look at any type of income-based repayment plan you might be eligible for. If your loans are in default, you may have to do something like rehabilitate your loans in order to get on an income-based repayment plan. So about income-based repayment plans. Most federal student loans, in fact, I think really all of them, you should be able to get on some form of income-based repayment plan. So generally those income-based repayment plans are going to be 10 to 15% of your discretionary income, and it can vary by the specific plan. So I'm not going to go into the details of all of them now because that would take a really long time, but there is information about each of them on studentaid.ed.gov, and again, we'll put a link in the comments for that. If your loans are in default, you have to get them out of default before you can go into an income-based repayment plan. That's usually going to involve either consolidating your loans. So if you have multiple loans, you can consolidate them into one, and that will actually bring it current, and then you can get on income-based repayment. If you can't consolidate, if you've already done that, then you may have to rehabilitate, and that's going to involve working out kind of a temporary payment plan, and it can be a lower payment than what your normal payment would be. But you would work out a temporary payment plan with your servicer, and after you made a number of payments, they would bring your loan back to current status, and then you could get on income-based repayment. The last thing I want to mention about income-based repayment is that you have to recertify every year. So annually you should get a notice from your servicer about recertifying. You fill out the form and you send it back in. It's really easy to do, and it keeps you on track with your loans. The last thing I want to mention really quickly is that there are discharges that you can get through your loan servicer if you are in certain situations. So one is total and permanent disability. Another one is for closed school. If your school closed before you could complete the program. There are guidelines for all of these discharges that you can actually find on studentaid.ed.gov again. The last one is a discharge for death of the borrower. So that's all information that you can find on the student loan website. I encourage you to log on there and explore more to help you manage your loans.